So you want to know how to make someone obsessed with you, how to have them chasing after you, thinking about you, remembering you years later. Well, if you want to be that person that is unforgettable, then just keep on watching. But I am going to warn you before we start that having people obsessed with you really isn't what it's cracked up to be. I think it's one of those things where you have that desire to have people pine over you and obsess over you, then you master the skill, and then you realize that you actually don't want it anymore and you let that desire go, because that is the process that happened to me. It's just one of those things. But I'm going to teach you how to make people obsessed with you and to do it in a genuine way, to do it in as genuine of a way as possible. First thing to note is that I actually disagree with a lot of the videos that I have seen on this topic. I've heard people say that if you want people to become obsessed with you, then you need to become obsessed with yourself. You need to become mysterious. You need to do all these things to present like you have black cat energy, like whatever. This is all really bad advice and we should scrap all of it, because being obsessed with yourself, even though it's trendy these days, is actually very off-putting for genuine, secure people. Secure, genuine people do not like people that are so obsessed and consumed with themselves. So if you want to make people obsessed with you in a genuine way, with not playing any games or putting on any kind of act, then the number one thing that you really need to understand is that people become obsessed with you because of how you make them feel. People, and I hate to break this to you, but people don't care about you. They care about themselves. So if you want to be memorable and different in their eyes, then you have to make people feel seen. You have to make people feel understood and accepted for who they are. And this is the feeling that everybody craves, and most people don't get much of this feeling, because in a world where everything is surface level, everything's entertainment based, truly seeing someone for who they are and making them feel safe and comfortable with you is incredibly rare, and you will stand out. You will become so addictive. And this is a foundation of creating real connection and intimacy. So if you master this one skill of making someone feel deeply seen and understood, I promise you, they will open up to you about anything and they will become so obsessed with you. And this is something that unfortunately happens to me all the time. People will meet me for the first time. They'll tell me things they've never shared with anyone. They will feel this deep sense of connection with me. And I get this with strangers that have not even met me on the internet. So if you want to be memorable, make sure you are holding space for people. Show genuine interest. Have real conversations, because anything that has depth and is real in a disconnected world will stick out and people will remember you. So here's how to do this. I'm going to break it down for you. You need to be present. You need to listen. And what I mean by that is to listen beyond their words and what they're saying, but actually feel into what they're saying. Because attentiveness is the combination of presence and active listening. So ask people meaningful questions and be radically curious about their perspective. Allow yourself to step into their world. And if you do this, you will become mesmerizing to them. People will become so addicted to how you make them feel, because now they feel important. And to be honest, it's really kind of a little sad how easily this works, because it shows how much people are starving for basic understanding and attention. And another thing that really helps is to have wide emotional capacity. And what I mean by this is to become someone who is comfortable with polarity. And by this, I mean the capacity to be extremely fun, to be the life of the party, and to be entertaining, but also be someone that can sit with someone when they're in extreme pain. Be that shoulder to cry on. And if you're someone that can be with all the different states of being and lean into all of these different states without fear, you will become someone of extreme value, because most people can't do that. They are afraid of their own emotions. They cannot really sit with other people's emotions, right? So if you have the ability to be very deep, but you can also be lighthearted, you can take the piss out of things, you can be serious, then that's really magnetic because you are multidimensional. People will never get bored of being around you because you have all of this different variety to offer people. That is basically the essence of being an interesting person. But what I want to question you with is, why do you even want people to become obsessed with you? Because if we look into it, there's actually something that's not entirely psychologically whole and healthy about that desire, because obsession is not real. It is not really the foundation of a mutual connection. And for me, having this skill of making people feel seen and making people therefore obsessed with me made me feel actually more alone. And it made me feel drained too, which I know like people are gonna be like, oh my God, like so ungrateful, like such a complainer. But it's true, because those connections aren't real. These people are just addicted to how you make them feel, and they just want to have access to you, and they become, in a way, enmeshed with you. And the only reason why these people were like doing stuff for me or trying to invite me to places or trying to impress me is because they wanted to gain access to a feeling that they could only access through me. And then you realize that the whole thing is a sham, it's all fake. For me, when I realized this, I lost all interest in getting people to like me at all. Because what I'm interested in now is building real mutual two-way connections where there's mutual alignment and interest, not one-sided obsession. The reality is that having someone obsessed with you feels very uncomfortable being on the receiving end. If you are a psychologically normal person, you will get bored, you will feel drained by having people obsessed with you, because you'll realize that it's not real, it's one-sided, and actually they're not obsessed with you even, they're just obsessed with themselves, and they're obsessed with what you mirror back to them, and they're obsessed with, you know, how you're making them feel. I wanted to talk about this because I know that these videos about how to make someone obsessed with you, how to manipulate someone into liking you, that comes from the desire to feel wanted and liked for who you are. But when you realize that all of these tactics out there will not satisfy the inherent desire that you want, because ultimately you want genuine connection. You don't want people to be obsessed with you. You want people to genuinely see you and connect with you and appreciate you as who you are as a human being, right? That's what you want. You don't want obsession, because that's, frankly, it's weird. And when you're on the receiving end of obsession from people, like, you will feel the same way that I do. Like, I actively avoid any kind of possibility or signal that's going to make someone obsessed with me. So I have to really pull back my energy and not be so warm sometimes, which is such a shame, because then you have to pull back your energy, you have to set boundaries, you have to do all of this extra work because somebody is now obsessed with you and it's not out of like mutual alignment. I hope this video helped. Maybe you need to go and try out these tactics for yourself, and you'll realize actually that once you're able to get people to like you, that you no longer actually need people to like you anymore, which is typically how the path evolves over time. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked, please subscribe and join the Relove family. I make videos every single week. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in my next video.